I can't breathe with you standing here with me. What was that? Yeah, Roswell, right? Oh, I am what I am. I'm tripping. Where's that from? Hmm. It's Roswell. Well, now I gotta see. I have to know now. I have to know with a certainty because I'm getting mixed signals in my head. Roswell. Yeah, and I'm recording. You better believe I'm motherfucking recording. Roswell intro. Let's see here.
You want to finish this?
I turn down the ads when the ads come up, purely in defiance. Yeah. Okay. I had to know. I had to know. Anyway, y'all remember Roswell? And I guess it's in my head because I was mentioning the scene to my brother, the scene where one of the alien girls, she kept erasing Colin Hanks' memory, and Colin Hanks had such a unsettling, unnerving reaction as a result of that. Like he's like, because she was like frying his brain because she kept erasing his memory. Anyway, what is up with that show where they had that dude? It was like, to me at the time, it looked like a rip off of Roswell, maybe not. But it was a guy without a belly button. His name was like XYZ or something like that. And that was just so. That was the hook. That was the hook. He didn't have a belly button. Alien. I mean, that's real though. Obviously, that's if a human being did not have that, obviously, the umbilical cord origin, I suppose that would be weird. And I guess that would be an oversight an alien would make. Get into some human flesh. Oops, forgot this one subtle yet very important facet, important feature of a human. I just want to thank you. They always leave that part out. Or was that oh shit, I'm tripping. Yeah, that's tears come down. I'm wondering why. Wait, it's the same song. That's all the same song. Wait, tears come down. I'm wondering why. When I'm man, I'm turned up in my window and I can't see it all. Even if I could, it would have picture on. Oh yeah, me, it's not so. Hmm. I don't think. Oh, I am what is the same song. Now I'm really fucking confused. Anyway, you're getting a sneak peek into how all over the place my mind is by myself. This is, I don't think it's unique. I don't think other people aren't like this. But we're all very hesitant to showcase it. Understandably, man. You know, your stock goes down if a motherfucker thinks you're crazy. But these days, that stock is worthless. It's worthless to me. That kind of stock. I used to participate. I used to care the same way that everyone else cares of how you're perceived. Now you know what made me not care as much? There's a bunch of things. I think one huge thing that makes me not care is I see that even if you even if you portray yourself, even if you engage in the impression management of it all, and you are displaying yourself how you should be, quote unquote, people still misinterpret your shit. People will still judge you, mistake this and that. And if even if you don't get judged, they'll put you in a prison. You're in a prison of their perception, where now if you want to do this, if you want to do that, if you feel this way, you feel that way, hey, oh, that's not you. You don't like that kind of stuff. That's not the kind of person you are. Motherfucker, you never knew me to begin with. You never knew me. Thank you for telling me what I'm capable of, though. Thanks for telling me my strengths and weaknesses. You know me so well. Wait, you don't. I've seen that example time and again. I've seen people say that John is this kind of person and Jane is that kind of person. And I just be thinking to myself, because I ain't saying shit. But in my mind, I'm like, wow, you don't know them at all. Goodness gracious. What a poor fucking assessment. But I ain't, that's the whole competition. If they were really receptive, if somebody really wants to know if John or Jane is the way that they presume, if they're really receptive about it and truly want to comprehend that person, I will. And if I have something to say, if I say yay or nay, I'll let them know. We can have a discussion about it. I'll give them my opinion, my viewpoint, what evidence I see that is to the contrary or affirms their suspicions or their presumptions. But a lot of times people, they draw conclusions about others with little to no evidence. Because all you're seeing is this shell, the actor, the casual actor, that is, the everyday American, the insincere sincerity, the false warmth, the strained happiness. Hey, yeah. Motherfucker, you ain't happy like that. Knock it off. Calm down. Relax. I don't know how it is in Britain for real. I don't. I'm not romanticizing England. But I'm just saying that the dryness that I have gathered from them. What's funny is that I'm crazy and kooky and wild and stuff. And I'm also very, very dry. Like, that's the modes. I think people operate in modes, but that's a weird thing to talk about because that's hard to recognize. Yeah, let me stray away from the mode talk. That's something I observed, and yeah, it's a little bit too much. But the dryness though, man. Believe it or not, I'm with that shit. That's a lot of times where my personality, that's where it falls into like this, hey, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm dry until I'm activated. Until you say something that will stir me. If I'm not naturally stirred already, if I'm not naturally energized, what I hate about our culture is that how you have to force your mood to, you're not even really forcing it. I hate how you have to summon the actor within and be all smiley and shit when that's not what you're feeling, just to make somebody else feel comfortable. The job I used to work at in my early 20s, I've been a balancer, right? I don't know, I ain't gonna lie, like, even though I'm getting to my point, I'm not straying here. Just stay with me. Just stay with me if you can. Follow me. Follow me along these twists and turns. So, I don't know about astrology and whether or not it's definitely always true, but I cannot deny that when it comes to Libras and Leos and stuff, how that shit be, it seems like it be on point. With Libras, I'm always like, damn, yeah, because I'm a Libra, and I'm like, huh, because I'm such a balancer. The balance of it all is something that I innately seem to, try to touch upon. I try to execute. I don't know how you describe that when you pursue balance in a very indirect, unconscious way, even. It does seem to be an instinct, I guess, is my point. A desire that is involuntary, that's always been. A desire for, like, if everyone's crazy, I'm not going to be crazy as well. If everyone seems like they're down the dumps, then something in me is like, I gotta shift this energy a bit. Now, I'm not saying that's always without any consideration what I do. If it makes sense, I let myself do it. But in my early 20s, I was on autopilot for the most part. And I was a goofy motherfucker. But I was especially a goofy motherfucker in my workplace because it was a depressing place. And depressing because everybody, from my standard, was a little bit lifeless. And so I just tried to inject life into it all. And in a not obnoxious way. And I understand that it's a fine line. It's a very fine line between being a comedic and lively fellow and being obnoxious. Don't think I don't know that. It's just one sentence too many. You're fucking obnoxious. But I would come sometimes. Sometimes I wouldn't have the energy to balance it all out. And if you ever wondered if people cared, they would be. I would get criticized, and people would come up to me, worried and not even genuine worry. Some people were clearly annoyed that I wasn't my jovial, goofy, energetic self. They didn't like that sometimes I remember a few people, they would just like outright say, you're making me sad with your dryness, with your sadness, with your. It wasn't even that I was just being a depressed, moody individual necessarily. I just wanted to be silent and just do my thing, and I just didn't feel like going all in with my energy. I just didn't have energy to give. Just wanted to do my job, get in and get out. But people clearly were like suffering from withdrawal. You know what I'm saying? It's like a kind of withdrawal from my energetic, jovial nature. And even they wanted the balance, is my point. But that also points to just the fact that human beings tend to recognize certain patterns of behavior, and then it's assumed that that's who you are. It's like your personality is this fixed constant. It's assumed that that is your personality, first of all, when I think personality is a much more conditional, broad thing sometimes. Like, you think your personality is one way, but okay, let's put you in a different kind of environment. Let's say, let's see what your personality is. If we withdraw you from people, for a few days, and have you, I don't know, read certain kinds of literature or something that touches you and makes you think in a certain kind of way, and then you have new thoughts, new beliefs, new views, and you haven't been around anybody that's. Because we take for granted how much of our behavior is dictated by the others around us, by what we're used to, about what our behavior is oftentimes dictated by, like, how we think we should be, or just other factors. So take all that away, take the social pressure away. You might be a different person. Because I seem like a different person at times just from being more contemplative. People presume it's a personality change. And it's not so much that I'm not goofy and crazy anymore. It's just that a lot of my mental energy is dedicated to auditing the climate of my mind. And so that makes it seem as though I'm a different person just because I'm flexing certain muscles that I wasn't flexing before. I still am flexing certain muscles. To be honest, it can also make you a different person just being more physically active. You might be more energetic in a different kind of way, more stable, more patient. Just having more patience can make you a different kind of motherfucker. Just listening more can make you seem whatever. All right, goodness gracious. Okay, you get it. I think y'all get it. Y'all remember Dawson's Creek? I feel like... What was the Dawson's Creek intro? Yeah, I don't want to... Was that... I don't want to wait. The Dawson's Creek intro... One second. Was that Dido too? Dawson Creek intro singer... Yo, Dido was all over the place. If that was Dido, man, I'm done. Why is it so hard to fucking find the name of the singer? Like, it's like one of the most famous songs, and I put in Dawson's Creek intro song. Okay, I'll put singer in there. I mean, give it up for the artist. You giving me? Oh, it's Paula Cole. Paula Cole. Never mind. I thought it was Dido. Okay, Paula Cole. Don't even act like you knew that. You didn't fucking know that. There's no way. You did not know that I don't want to wait for our lives to be over was written and performed by Paula fucking Cole. I've never heard those two names put together. I know Paula Poundstone and I know J. Cole. I don't know Paula Cole. Alright? Let's get it right. So, we're learning things. We're learning things on this podcast together. That's why I like recording without the video too. I like recording on the video because I can just, it's rude for me to, visually, for me to just be putting my head down, looking on my phone. I mean, maybe it's not, but it feels rude. It feels like I gotta, if the fucking camera's on, I gotta give the camera a bunch of attention. And when I talk, I like to look around, man. I like to fucking get the groove in with my body. I like to be all over the place. And I make some fucking unsightly faces when I'm super relaxed. And I don't give a fuck, but I just know that humans care. You funny little fucking humans. And I'm part of the funny little humans. I'm not separating myself from humanity. I'm saying we give a fuck about such things. Our brains, even if you consciously don't want to care, and then maybe eventually you won't. These motherfuckers around here with these, I ain't gonna get on them. But I'm about to get on these people with these cars. But what was my point? My point is that you care about visual, you care about aesthetic, I don't want to say beauty, attractiveness. Alright? We all care about that shit, right? Even I'm susceptible to it. There's a fucking thumbnail with a person that's some kind of attractive, whatever kind of way. My brain is sending signals to my thumb much more forcefully than it would otherwise. And so my point is that I don't want to care, and I don't want you to care. And if we're all gonna be more relaxed and free in this bitch, which is what's going to end up happening if I'm going to continually make these. I'm going to end up just, you're going to get a hybrid. You're going to get some very lowbrow, overly simplistic shit. You might get something that requires a little bit more thought. I don't know. This is the consequence of me talking about forcibly. I'm forcing myself to record these because I just need to. It's something I want to do, and I have a lot of thoughts and feelings and whatnot to express. It's just getting into the habit of becoming comfortable enough of just talking about any and everything. Because one thing is that I need to just destroy the standard I have for myself where, you know, I want to choose my words carefully. Because I used to be a very poor communicator. I used to be a very poor communicator. And I respect the ability and the effectiveness of choosing your words carefully and communicating clearly and coherently. It's and reasonably, sensibly. These things are just missing from our everyday life. It takes a lot of mental energy to do so, and there's a lot of stuff you got to hash out. But it leads us to figuring things out, like the fact that Dawson's Creek, the theme song, was written and performed by a woman named Paula fucking Cole. It wasn't Dido. You racist? Is Paula Cole British? That's alright, look. Last thing. Is Paula Cole fucking British? That's what we need to know. If she's British, then, because I know Dido is something, right? Now I need to find out what Dido is. Paula Cole first. She's an American singer-songwriter. Fuck you. What's Dido then? Dido, you gotta be from the UK, huh? There's no way she's from America. Where the fuck were you born, Dido? Yeah, okay, in England. Cool. Damn, Paula Cole. That really did fuck me up. Pacey in Dawson's Creek was my hero when I was a kid. I was rooting for him so hard. And this is where it gets a little X-rated, everybody. Alright? If you are easily offended, just turn this shit off. Turn it off! Turn it off! I'm about to get it all the way real. Alright? I gave you an opportunity. Pacey was my fucking hero because that's the dream. That's a lot of young men's dreams. I'm not saying it's every young man's dream. I am not saying that. I'm just saying I would have loved to fuck my teacher. You know? That would have been great. And Pacey did it. And Pacey was the underdog looks wise. He wasn't an ugly guy, but he just wasn't the standard at the time, especially. Now I feel like the whole landscape of attractiveness has changed. That's just my viewpoint. I feel like the world has become receptive to all different kinds of looks because we get that. I would hope that this is my feeling. I think we all get that, like, the classic good looking person does not, that doesn't mean that they're bringing like a comedic time, a sense of humor to the table. They're necessarily bringing intellectuality to the table. That they're necessarily bringing consideration and lightheartedness and all these other qualities that exist in other people that look good in their own right. You know, like the classically good-looking person just doesn't have it all, and sometimes they don't have anything but those classic good looks and shit. I hope people are seeing through this fucking illusion that we've all been sort of spellbound by. But so I feel like a guy like Pacey now, if he was famous, would be considered to be more attractive than he was in the past. And I think also, though, there's just now more people that are vocalizing. First of all, there's so many different kinds of people now, and they all have a voice, and so they're all proclaiming what they consider to be attractive. And sometimes it's the non-classical men and women. And I feel like other people it gives them permission to see it too. I feel like, to be honest, like take away us being brainwashed into seeing what's attractive. I just remember that, like, even now, I think everybody is attractive in some way. If you're talking about just physically, I don't know. It's hard for me to look at anybody as unattractive. I guess you know what it is, on some real shit. My standards now have really truly changed, and but it really is about so many other things other than your physical appearance. The physical appearance is a factor, sure, but it's so much other shit that can make you or break you. But a lot of people still obviously are slaves to the basic form, and I think that has to do with I think that's a growth thing, in all honesty, an experience thing. But anyway, yo, Pacey, man, he was the underdog, though, is my point. Dawson was a classic, main character and shit. Pacey got to fuck his teacher. Man, that was the dream, Not that the dream, but a dream. And I know a lot of people, what's funny is seeing the stories about that. The stories on these women these days, more and more, like young teachers in the 30s fucking their students, 15-year-old, 16-year-old boys. The funniest thing is looking in the comment section of any of these news cycles where this is one of the topics. If it's on Facebook, on YouTube, just scroll through the fucking comments. You got dudes. It's so funny. It shows you the difference between men and women, man, or a major difference between men and women. That I don't know. I don't believe it's cultural. Cultural has a lot to do with it, I suppose. I don't doubt that, actually. It's just, the men are like, where was this teacher when I was growing up? And you see like thousands of likes on their comment and shit. And then the people that are disgusted are usually women. I'm not saying men are not disgusted by an older woman fucking a 15-year-old boy. I'm not saying that men are not disgusted. I know that some of them do exist. But it's just that I'll speak for myself, and I'll also speak for all of my male friends that I grew up with in New Orleans. The thing is that, and this probably is the cultural aspect of it. This is the cultural aspect, perhaps. But also, you know how they say that like a child doesn't know their sexual orientation and shit? Usually it's just talking about a young gay child, a gay male, usually a young gay boy. Is usually the example when they're like, he doesn't know if he's gay or not. The reason why it's hard for me to believe that a young boy doesn't know he's gay is because, like, I believe that there's young gay boys that they don't know. I don't doubt that. But what I'm saying is that I don't doubt that either, that a young boy can know, because I was super sexually charged and super attracted to girls immediately. In pre-K, I'm French kissing Tiffany Smith at nap time. Another girl, I won't say her name because people know her, but she's showing me her vagina under the desk and stuff. It was amazing to me. And I was in love with every single girl, like all the time. Women, girl, women. I just loved it so fucking much. And if one of my teachers, I'm not going to say their names either. I'm not going to try to play them. But if there was ever a moment, this never happened. But if I'm getting tutored by a teacher, let's say I'm in the fucking 6th grade. Let's even say that. That's still young. What am I, like 11, 12? If a female teacher would have jerked me off or had sex with me, that would have been, for me, an amazing memory. For me and for many other young men. Because you know what? And I'm going to tell you why. And this might be delusional, but it's still the case. And this might just be, a lot of dudes are still delusional with this. I never felt threatened by a woman. I didn't feel like women were any kind of oppressors. And in the situation where a woman, let's jump to 15 years old especially. Let's not, like, I'm a little kid, I'm sorry. Let's go to the 15-year-old. I 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% and no woman that I'm thinking of that had authority over me did I feel like could hurt me if it came down to them putting pressure upon me. Now, the power dynamic. Now, let's say if it's a woman who I wasn't attracted to, and she threatened me, let's say, failing me if I didn't do something with her. Yeah, that'd be fucked up. And let's say if I was like truly unattracted to her. But we're not talking about that though, right? Because here's the thing, that's like on some. See, the situations we're talking about is these women, these teachers, are kind of attractive. They're attractive for teachers who are willing to have sex with a student. All right, let's get that straight. And a lot of boys, that's their fucking dream. Let's get that straight. So, should we allow it? No. I don't think it should be allowed because it does complicate things. And a young boy is a fucking idiot, and they're not fully developed yet. And the decision that the teacher is making for that boy, or she is taking advantage of his simplistic, sexual, overly hypersexualized mind, and the boy can get her pregnant, you know. And he didn't really want that. He wouldn't have gotten her pregnant if she didn't make a move on him. And I think it is dramatically different when it's an older guy and a younger girl. And so I don't think it should be normalized for an old man to do that to a fucking 15-year-old girl. I'm not even gonna act like I know how women's mind works or young girls' mind. I don't even think other girls know how other girls' minds work, to be honest. I don't think there's not enough honest discussion about the sexual charge that exists. Because just like I said, man, I bring this up a lot, but like a lot of women don't even talk about masturbation amongst each other, man. Like there's women that masturbate and they do it unapologetically and they feel like every other woman masturbates. And there's women that don't. They think it's icky and they think it's a gross thing to do that. And they're like, why? I can get a guy after. And they don't like receiving oral sex. And so there's just disconnect. And those girls who don't do it think most women don't do it either and shit. When I talk to women about sexual stuff, it's always they have this certainty about what other women are doing, but then I talk to other women and other women aren't doing that. That's not how they think. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, is there... I mean, it's the same thing with men. A lot of men aren't the same either. But men tend to just... I know a lot about it because men feel more empowered. And don't get me wrong, women haven't had the opportunity to have these discussions throughout history. Women have very much so been oppressed, subjugated, pressured to be a particular kind of way, slut-shamed, and slut-shamed some more. There's even right now, these young dudes that think women are the fucking problem with everything, that women are ruined. I just can't get jiggy with that shit. I have my grievances with women too and whatnot, but I can't act like the power dynamic is not in men's favor. Like, what are we talking about? But you can complain, but just don't make it. You know, you making it seem like it's way more profound than it actually is. A lot of people ain't gonna like none of this. Just merely talking about this, it triggers. People assume. I don't want anybody hurting anybody, but all I'm saying is that a lot of young boys, 15-year-old boys, they're not traumatized by fucking an older woman. I just want to let you know that. They are not traumatized. That's what I'm telling you. I don't care. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people are like, a lot of women especially, that's why there's a difference between men and women. A lot of women, I would get women being grossed out by the idea of having sex with a 15-year-old boy. Fine, good. Be grossed out by that. But also understand that the 15-year-old boy is not in the least grossed out by that. In all likelihood. Is there like an Antoine Fisher kind of thing going on? Yeah, I'm sure that happens. I'm sure there's women who are like, the boy considers to be like very disgusting, first of all. Or let's just say the boy he's different. There's definitely different kind of males. And I'm talking about the stereotypical hot-blooded male that just like wants to fuck everything and like jerk off 100 times a day. But there's the boy that's not on that shit. He's more towards the asexual side of the spectrum, or even then, he just has an idea that like, you know, I want sex to like to have much more meaning than I want it to be more important than just I put my dick in a woman and that's it and move on. And you know, and they have a kind of respect towards it, and they place it. They have a reverence for it all, and maybe they're just religious and stuff. And so a woman trying to take advantage of that kind of boy, that's fucked. That's why I was like, nah, man, we can't even have it. I'm not saying legalize it. I'm saying like, all I know is, I had a piano teacher. I had a piano teacher when I was a kid, and she didn't do nothing with me. She didn't do nothing. She just gave me piano lessons. She was like, I don't know. I'm like 12, maybe 13, maybe, and nah, no. Let's say she's 30 something, even maybe early 40 something. That may be way too old. But she was just a normal woman, a normal black woman. But when I tell you that I wanted to have sex with her so fucking bad. I just wanted. Every time I was at her house, I went to her house for lessons. If she would have reached into my pants and jerked me off, I would right now be talking about how amazing that was. Now, were she to do all other kinds, were she to have like slapped me around and I don't know, done some abnormal shit to me, yeah, maybe it wouldn't be a pleasant memory. And that is, you know, but I'm talking about the basics. If it was just on some, she wanted to fuck 14-year-old Marcus, that would have been the opposite of a traumatic experience for me and for a lot of other dudes. And I'm not saying that the reverse is true. I hands off women, period. Don't touch them, man. Don't think like that's not even a fucking. I don't think a 14-year-old girl has the same mentality as a 14-year-old boy when it comes to sex. Clearly, I mean, yo, I went to school. I thought I was like a little horny dude. But when I got to middle school, there were so many girls that showed me that I was like, I didn't know girls were capable of being that sexualized. But here's the thing, looking back, many of the girls probably were abused. They probably were being abused. But also, you know, I gotta be honest. Like, I feel like we take away, because this is a touchy subject, because people presume you're saying this or you're saying that. I mean, I gotta believe that some of those girls weren't, and that's just how they was rolling. They just were in tune with their sexual charge. But I do see it differently when if it was the 30-year-old piano teacher man with the 14-year-old girl, like, I don't see it the same at all. It is a double standard. You know what the bottom line is? It's a double fucking standard. But I think it's a double standard that makes sense because the psychology of a man, the chemistry of a man when it comes to sex, when it comes to feeling empowered, like you feel just the physics of it all. You feel like you're in much more of a position of superiority, man. It's not about the woman being inferior. It's about this the tool that you have is different from the fucking tool that she has. As a 14-year-old boy, the mechanics of sex are still going to be the same. I'm still going to be the one providing and entering, and I'm the one entering. To be entered into, I would imagine, is a completely different kind of experience. To be entered into, I would imagine, is a very vulnerable, fragile, intimate fucking thing. Put your finger in your ear. My finger feels so much more free, so much more powerful, so much less vulnerable than my ear. That's this, even if it's just like, it's not about having actual power, it's even about just this illusion, man. Like as a man, it's just, generally speaking, the way I grew up, I just didn't feel threatened by women. And I didn't feel enough, and to be honest, I would have loved for an attractive teacher to have sex with me. That would have been amazing. That's my fucking point. And it shouldn't be taboo to say that. It should not be a problem to fucking say that. The problem is when you then from there are like, well, the reverse is true because we're trying to make all this shit so equal, and that's the problem. That's why so many women can't get. That's why so many women are confused about like how a boy cannot be traumatized because they're looking at it from their perspective and like they know that they would be traumatized if a dude did that to them. Yeah, I'm sure you would. But as a boy, as a guy, you're not. Many guys, not all guys, all right? Many guys, you just don't think like that. You don't see the world in that way. You don't see your relationship the dynamic to women is just not the same. It's just not the fucking same, man. I'm cool with double standards if they make sense. You know, it's like, you know, why don't women hold the door open for me? No, women don't need to hold the door open for me. I'll hold, like, fine, I'll hold the door open for women, cool. You know, women, you know, if they don't mow the lawn and shit or whatever, that's not typical. That's a man job. Like, well, women need to be able to do that. Men do. I'll do that shit. I don't mind. Some double standards make sense to me. Some double standards make sense to me. I don't feel like we should be prisoners of those standards. I don't feel like we should allow ourselves to be hostage to them in every situation. My point is just that I really wanted to fuck my piano teacher. That's my point, okay? I just really wanted to. I wanted to fuck everything. Are you listening? You still here? I want to fuck every woman, basically. Man, any woman that just smiled at me, I wanted to fuck. That's my point. And I know I've talked to a lot of dudes. It's not all dudes, it's a lot of dudes, okay? Okay? And it started off, and we didn't even have, motherfucker, I was downloading porn off of LimeWire and shit. I had to use Kazaa. Y'all know what Kazaa, you didn't suffer. I remember in 3rd grade, my man Shay he had a nudie deck. You know how many times he gave me one card. There's one woman on there. There's one naked woman. You know how much I treasured that fucking card? You know how much you know how much that card meant to me? I had nothing else. I had nothing else. Anyway, man, that went to places that I did not intend. Yo, but I want to be able to just say this shit because I do feel it, man. And I just hate how politicized it is. And I hate that. Look, the bottom line, I don't want anybody to be hurt. No one hurt anybody. Nobody fucking hurt anybody. But my point is, a lot of young men they're not hurt by that shit. And we don't want to admit it because we feel like we'll be normalizing it. I'm not saying it should happen. I'm not saying it should be fucking normalized. I'm just saying, man. I'm just fucking saying. Anyway. Alright, guys. I guess I'll hang it up. I'll stop talking. I feel like I'm worried about everything I just said. And I'm only worried because I see how whenever these topics are broached, motherfuckers are just so eager to see, to find, to hope that there's some kind of unsaid statement going on. They want to believe that you have a certain kind of beliefs other than what I'm saying. And but I'd like to be better than that. I don't want to be scared of these dumbass people that are like that. I want to be free and say what the fuck I feel, especially because what I'm saying is not, I don't think it's anything that nobody doesn't know. Dudes are aware of this, and for all I know, women are too. But I do think a lot of women do underestimate how hypersexual a lot of dudes are at a very young age. But whatever. We can have a double standard is my point. We can have a fucking double standard. It's boys will be boys when they fuck their 30-year-old teacher. But when it's reversed, Get the fuck out of here. It's not the same. Alright. I don't want to end it on this note, though. I don't want to end it on this note. I want to end it on something, more wholesome. Just something more wholesome. I was talking about Roswell and Dido. Yeah, fuck it. Alright, peace out, y'all.